Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us at this special meeting of the Town Board for the purposes of presenting our State of the Town. To begin, I'd like to ask our esteemed colleague to the east, the Supervisor of the great town of Brookhaven, to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if everyone would stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Joining us also, in addition to Ed Romaine, Supervisor of the town of Brookhaven, is Suffolk County Legislator Tom Silmy, also the Minority Leader. I think I see John Cameron, who is the Chair of the Long Island Regional Planning Board, and Mitch Pally, who is the CEO of Libby, our Suffolk County rep to the MTA, and also chairs our Airport Advisory Board. And I know there are many members of the various boards and commissions here, so I thank you for being here, and chambers also. So, thank you again for joining us as we report the state of the town. I'd like to begin by taking this opportunity to thank and acknowledge our Islip Town Board members, our town clerk, and the receiver of taxes for all of their efforts, for their ongoing commitment to Islip, and for working with me to foster yet another year of growth for our town. A lot has happened in the world and in our country. Unfortunately, much of it negative and very sad. The mass tragedies caused by gunfire and the many lives lost in our schools, at concerts, and in churches across the country. We mourn the loss of our fellow Americans whose lives were cut short in these tragic events. I would like to thank all the brave men and women in public safety, our military who serve and protect our lives and our freedoms, putting their own lives at risk so that we can enjoy the freedoms we cherish. We thank them all for their service. In the town of Islip, our town, I'm very proud to say we have a very positive story to tell. Our town, let's think about that hour. There's an old saying, not so old I guess, about taking a village to raise a child. Well, after serving as a supervisor for 3 years, I truly believe it takes a community to run a town. And when we say our town, what we're referring to is a collaboration that defines Islip Town. Our excellent commissioners, employees, without whom we could not operate or achieve our goals. They are all an important part of this collaboration. Our town is a partnership among all of its residents, its employees, its businesses, the people who call it home, and the government that serves them all. More than that, we are the community built around that partnership. Some of our greatest assets are our many community organizations, chambers of commerce, civic associations, the passionate and dedicated members of these groups, and we see many of them here at the town board, who act as important liaisons for our Islip community and help bring important issues to the forefront. We also have many important service organizations, such as the Lions, the Elks, veterans organizations, scouting troops, cancer coalitions, beautification and historical societies, neighborhood watch groups, and of course, our emergency personnel, those in the fire, police, and ambulance services. The members of these and many other wonderful service organizations give of themselves every day to help our fellow Islip residents in ways that the town cannot do alone. All of these different groups and organizations working side by side with us, the government of the town of Islip, make this community great. Islip Town is all about community, and as your supervisor, I've promised to place progress ahead of politics so that our community can thrive, and this continues to be my foremost commitment to you. Since I took the oath of office over 3 years ago, our responsibilities have remained clear: to listen to the needs of our residents, assess problems, seek solutions, unite people for the common good, provide the necessary leadership to fulfill those needs, and strive for a better, stronger community. It's truly an honor and a privilege to serve the more than 335,000 residents of this great town, and it gives me a great sense of pride when I see all of the strides we have made together to make Islip Town, our town, an even more desirable place to live, work, and raise our families. There's no question about it. Throughout all of its 4 villages and over 20 hamlets, Islip has it all. We have dedicated commissioners, along with their deputies and staff, and they are truly incredible. We've got an amazing team, and so many Town of Islip residents, and some not even town residents, have accepted the challenge to join our team. Residents have partnered with us in so many ways to make our town a better place. We are fortunate to have so many highly qualified individuals on our various boards and commissions: planning, zoning, assessment and review, plumbing, youth, parking violations bureau, environmental, airport advisory, business advisory. And let's not forget those who serve on school boards and PTAs, making a difference in our incredible educational system here. Recently, we reinvigorated our Islip Town Environmental Commission and thank them truly for their service. A group of very passionate and caring students, Suffolk Student Climate Action Committee, are now working with ITAC as we all work together to preserve our town's environmental future. One of the first points of contact for many of our community members is our Office of Constituent Services, whose staff fields countless telephone calls from residents year-round, and visits too. We had one this morning. He was not happy. And during weather emergencies, when most people are home, these dedicated individuals are here taking residents' calls, even working weekends during the worst storms. I know I can speak for our residents when I say we appreciate and value your commitment. Our residents top the remarkable assets we have in our town, but among those assets, we also count the bricks and mortar buildings, some historic like Brookwood Hall, our world-class beaches, golf courses, marinas, parks, Fire Island, Lake Ronkonkoma, Shipwreck Cove Water Park, and let's not forget Long Island MacArthur Airport, the town's own commercial airport. Maintaining all of our important infrastructure, which our residents enjoy, takes resources and a commitment to its maintenance. Therefore, having a strong and stable fiscal position becomes very important. As a result of our financial stewardship, since I took office in 2015, Moody's upgraded our financial rating from AA1 to AAA with a stable outlook. In a time where most governments are struggling with their bond ratings, this is an accomplishment that everyone in the town of Islip government has a right to share and of which to be proud. A Moody's AAA rating, the highest rating a municipality can achieve. Our bond rating is very reassuring. It decreases our cost of borrowing and affirms the fact that the policies and procedures put into place in the last 3 years are working. We practice sound fiscal business policies that demonstrate our commitment to responsible government for our residents. As Islip Town Supervisor, my top priority continues to be to deliver fiscally sound, efficient, and transparent budgeting to the taxpayers of our town. Under the leadership of Controller Joe Ludwig and his dedicated team, we continue moving forward, reinforcing our fiscal prudence. We continue to examine all town fees, making adjustments where appropriate, keeping us in line with other towns across the county. All major town initiatives continue to undergo a cost-benefit analysis while implementing budget improvements. We've explored new and enhanced revenue sources, including efforts to identify opportunities of outside funding through grants wherever possible. Thanks to the meticulousness of our controller and his team, our 2018 budget is tax cap compliant, and we have not used 1 cent of the town's fund balance to balance the budget. Even with a population of over 335,000 residents, the 3rd largest town in New York State, our town flourishes with a sense of community, a genuine small hometown feel. We are a diverse town, a town that is vibrant and rich in culture, ethnicity, and language. We are fortunate to have residents from countries all over the world who each bring unique customs and traditions to enrich our daily lives. We celebrate and embrace that diversity with events such as our fabulous Puerto Rican Hispanic Day Parade, in Brentwood, our numerous St. Patrick's Day parades, and I see the Grand Marshal from Brentwood here from his marching on Saturday, Rich Lochner, thank you, and various Italian feasts and many, many more. Yet as diverse as we are more alike than different, and we continue to strive to be that one community. Throughout all of the departments that make up the body of Islip Town government, it is the care and compassion of our employees working behind the scenes, the unsung heroes, and they truly, truly are, whose commitment to their roles here in the town, at the airport, at 401, in Town Hall, our senior centers, the parks, the beaches, recreation centers, the recycling center, the animal shelter, Brookwood Hall, marinas, they make living in the town a very, very special place to be. We have many, many assets in the town, all playing a significant role in creating a sense of community. And one of those assets is our town-owned regional airport, Long Island MacArthur Airport, your hometown airport. The airport has had a total surplus of $4.5 million in the past 2 years and operated with a surplus of over $3 million for 2017, with no local tax dollars used to support the airport. Frontier, a new carrier to the airport, began service from Islip to Orlando in August of 2017, quickly adding seasonal service to Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, and Tampa. And beginning April 8th of this year, Frontier will have nonstop service to Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis, and San Juan, and starting on May 20th to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. American Airlines has enhanced their service with regional jet service starting in last October, adding 50 additional seats on its daily nonstop to Philadelphia. Southwest Airlines direct service to Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina began earlier this month. Between August and December, Long Island MacArthur Airport saw 75,000 new customers, and in 2018, Islip will offer travelers 15 nonstop destinations from Islip. Yes, 15 nonstop destinations from Islip, and with that, the opportunity to visit family, and family to visit us. You know, Kristen Jarnigan from Discover Long Island is here, and there's a focus there. This is a destination. People don't know about it. They are going to be coming here, and it's going to be easier for them to do it. I'd encourage you to take the opportunity to enjoy a golf vacation in Myrtle Beach, and when you're there, tell them about how wonderful it is here on Long Island, or a long sun-filled weekend in San Juan. After this winter and spring's weather, the spring was probably worse than the winter, I think we could all use a few palm trees and sunshine. Additionally, Southwest Airlines' use of the 737-800 MAX has added 160 seats daily for those flying from Islip, where you will stress less and can now fly more. I thank Commissioner Shelley LaRose Arkin and her team. She has been able to use her years of expertise in airport management to really help move Long Island MacArthur Airport forward. A group who utilizes MacArthur for important events such as honor flights and homecomings are our veterans. They are an integral part of our community in the town of Islip, providing much-needed services to returning aging and ailing service members and to carrying on important traditions and legacies such as the Memorial Day Parade and Veterans Day events. I must recognize Councilman John Cochran Jr., who himself served our country as an esteemed member of the U.S. Navy. Councilman Cochran has worked tirelessly to provide services to our veterans, making himself and staff available to help them in his office at Town Hall. Thank you, Councilman Cochran, for your service to our country and to our town. One of the many ways that we were able to help our veterans this year was when the Town Assessor's Office implemented the New York State Cold War Veterans exemptions adopted by some school districts in the town and assisted with the local law adopted unanimously by this town board. Our actions removed the 10-year limitation on this particular exemption. The Assessor's Office, under the leadership of our Assessor, Ann Danziger, also assisted our taxpayers with the first of the good cause applications for the state's enhanced STAR exemption. Another office that serves taxpayers on a daily basis is our Tax Receiver's Office, which is led by our tax receiver, Alexis Wyke. This office works to cut costs while adding services, a difficult task indeed. This year, 2 more cashier stations were added, minimizing the payment line, providing faster service for in-office payments, and increasing customer service, and that's what it's all about. Additionally, based on popular demand, 1 day a week extended hours are offered to accommodate residents who are unable to get into the office before 5. Another one of our departments that works closely with the tax receiver's office, especially come tax bill season, is our talented IT department. This year, IT worked to create a new online payment system, which was done completely in-house by our IT department, run under the careful direction of Steve Kozin. This new system allows the town to respond more quickly and allowed us to reduce credit card fees to users. IT is such an important and ever-changing department. We live in an information age, and technology keeps all of us connected, fostering that sense of community. Our state-of-the-art e-alert system provides the latest information regarding dates, forms, phone numbers, events, and of course, emergencies. Here in the town, we've expanded Wi-Fi access in every major park, including our beaches and golf courses. Presently, we are in the process of expanding and providing free Wi-Fi at Long Island MacArthur Airport. And we're always exploring ideas for other town locations and are always open to input on Wi-Fi locations that you would like to see. The IT department has updated the Atlantic Dock Slip reservation system, and continuing through 2018, we'll also be working toward meeting ADA compliance requirements for the Town of Islip's website. From our website to the town's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, we look forward to continuing our mission of transparency and accessibility through continuously updating our technology and staying connected with our residents. Another department that helps connect us with our residents is our Public Information Office, PIO, which is under the direction of Caroline Smith. This office works closely with IT, providing the content for e-alerts, the website, press releases, and more. Additionally, PIO acts as a liaison between the media and the town of Islip. Working with our local media helps share important news to our residents. In addition to working with outside media, our PIO office produces a radio show called Supervisor Spotlight, which is broadcast on the radio and televised on the town's public access Channel 18. Thank you, Caroline, for all that you and your team do to connect the town and our residents. As a town, one of our most basic and important duties entrusted to us is keeping our residents safe. The town's Traffic Safety Division, part of DPW and Parks, is dedicated to ensuring the safety of pedestrians and motorists through efficient lighting, signage, and its annual pavement marking program. To date, the department has installed more than 28,000 energy-efficient fixtures throughout the town. Not only does this initiative enhance safety through proper lighting, it also comes with future cost savings to the town, as modern LED lighting uses a fraction of the energy of older lights. One such project that is going to be starting quickly, I hope, is at the East Islip Marina Fields, where we are partnering with the New York Power Authority, NYPA, to update all of the lighting to LED. In 2018, Traffic Safety plans to advance the awarded TEP grant project for Bayshore Bayway from the Bayshore Railroad Station to the Maple Avenue dock. The department in the town of Islip, which is directly responsible for the daily safety of our residents, is the Department of Public Safety. Responding to emergencies and keeping residents safe and out of harm's way, it is one of our top priorities. Our Public Safety Division is committed to doing exactly that while overseeing the town's divisions of fire prevention, public safety, communications, harbor and marine, Office of Emergency Management, and Parking Violations Bureau. Our public safety officers, fire marshals, and harbor masters always put the safety of our residents first. We responded to 12,254 calls for service, including direct patrol of our town facilities, and 671 calls from local fire departments and the county police department for assistance during emergencies. Working hand in hand with public safety is our town attorney's office under the very capable direction of J.R. DeCiccio and his dedicated staff. Last year, in addition to code enforcement investigations, 315 complaints for vacant and unsecured dwellings were investigated by the fire marshals, submitting over 160 properties for town resolutions to secure and/or clean or demolish blighted zombie properties. In addition to these types of resolutions, hundreds and hundreds of resolutions with the necessary backup from the various town departments are prepared for the town board meetings. Court appearances, traffic court, coordination with outside counsel, reviewing voluminous contracts and grants make the town attorney's office one busy and very effective department. The hazmat team continues to work with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and the U.S. Coast Guard agencies, reaching out to other hazardous materials response teams within the county as part of the regional response team. We really do a lot of collaboration, and that, I think, is the answer to everything. You've got to work collaboratively, and that's why I'm delighted to see representatives from the town, other towns, and county here. One of the biggest challenges that our community faces is the scourge of gang activity and the epidemic of heroin and opioid addiction and overdose that has taken the lives of so many. I don't think anyone is untouched by it in some way or fashion. The lives of our youth, young adults, and older adults. While controlling gangs and drug abuse are not directly within the town's jurisdiction, it's something that we can't ignore and must face head-on. It's something we must address in the town and across the country. We're not immune, we're not insulated, and we're not alone. We continue to work closely with the Suffolk County Police Department and gang units, tracking graffiti tags and locations, and monitor vacant and unsecured dwellings throughout the town. And when you see graffiti, report it, because we will photograph it, get it to the police department, and very often it can lead, as it did in Sayville, to the arrest of and brought some gang activity to a halt rather quickly. This year we were able to initiate our own Peace Officer Training Academy. We were able to offer this training as a shared service, allowing officers from other towns to participate as well. Our peace officers maintain 24-hour patrols of all of the town's facilities and have taken part in extensive gang training, Narcan training, and de-escalation techniques. We've recently launched our heroin and opioid task force in the town of Islip. This task force will be co-chaired by Youth Enrichment Services under the leadership of Mary Ann Pfeiffer and former TV news broadcaster Drew Scott. They will be working with other professionals in the field. We expect that we can and will make a difference. And I'd like to thank Councilwoman Mary Kate Mullen, who will be sharing her expertise and services to this important town initiative. Councilwoman Mullen's background with the Suffolk County DA's Office Drug Unit will be a valuable addition to the efforts of this important task force. We provide safety in many different ways in the town of Islip. Our communications division maintained a 24-hour call receiving and dispatch operation, along with continuous monitoring of existing and newly installed security cameras throughout the town. In fact, recently, because of those cameras, we were able to apprehend 7 young adults who decided it would be fun to drive onto the basketball court at Roberto Clemente Park, sit on the hoops, and film a video. But because of the cameras, we were able to, with the assistance of the Suffolk County Police Department, get in there and do what needed to be done. They, needless to say, were all summoned. There was drug activity going on, and they also found a weapon. So the cameras really, really do work. We have also entered into an agreement with the U.S. Coast Guard to assist in search and rescue operations when needed, and increased our presence at town beaches and marinas. We've partnered with Suffolk County and 9 other municipalities within Suffolk to draft a comprehensive emergency management plan, activating and maintaining our Emergency Operations Center in weather emergencies with 4 state of the emergency declarations, answering telephones and coordinating with PSCG Long Island and other agencies. An example of municipal cooperation to secure the most efficient use of our resources. And I would like to thank PSE&G, and I know that sometimes we sort of attack the utilities. Mitch from the MTA. You guys did a great job with the last storm. It's not easy. When there's 10 inches of snow, you just can't run the trains. This last storm, where part of our town saw 20 inches, was very, very difficult. But with each and every storm that was coming, I got a personal phone call from the president of PSE&G. We're here. We want to keep the lines of communication open. They send a rep into our EOC. So being able to keep track of what's going on in real time is very, very useful. The town's Parking Violations Bureau completed the implementation of the online payment option via credit card and/or debit card transactions, which eliminates the need for people to have to appear in person. I'd like to thank Commissioner D'Amico and his team for all that they do to protect our residents. While keeping residents safe is the most important function entrusted to the town, another major component of a successful and thriving community is having a robust economy. In the last 3 years, our Office of Economic Development, under the leadership of Bill Mannix, has induced more than 50 new projects through the IDA, representing a total capital investment of nearly $500 million, retaining over 4,500 jobs and creating nearly 1,700, actually 1,683 to be exact, new jobs. I'm also pleased to share that this year we submitted a strong application to be in the running for Amazon Headquarters 2. While there is tight competition, the New York metro region, including Islip, is still under consideration. We're also going again to try to secure a grant for downtown revitalization in the central Islip community. We've tried 2 times. We're hoping 3 is going to be a lucky charm. And I'd like to thank this Central Islip Civic Council. You were very helpful in joining with us in trying to convince the state that we deserve to get that $10 million. So hopefully next year. We treasure the relationships we've fostered in the town with our business community. In this office, this year, our Office of Economic Development recognized 10 Islip-based small businesses for their continued success. For the 3rd consecutive year, the department held its highly successful job search boot camp, training 50 Islip residents each year in how to search for and advance in their employment. Another unique business asset in the town is our foreign trade zone under the direction of Brad Hemingway. A foreign trade zone allows for tax cuts for importers and exporters, and I'm happy to report that nearly all of our available office space is full. We're excited to continue fostering economic development in the town of Islip in 2018 and the years ahead. And let's remember that we too are a business, and as such have a very active purchasing department under the direction of Mike Rand and his staff, preparing countless POs, RFPs, working with our vendors, and always making certain that we are always in compliance with all the necessary rules and regulations applicable to municipalities. Thanks to our vibrant economy and the interest in investing in Islip, the hamlet of Bayshore has enjoyed a tremendous renaissance, and this success necessitated the implementation of a parking management program to handle the influx of individuals from all over Long Island and beyond who come to visit to this vibrant downtown, many on their way to Fire Island. The parking management program has proved to be a success in managing the parking and allowing for the turnover of spaces. Our parking management program now also allows the use of a convenient Park Mobile app, a smartphone app, the same app used in Patchogue, Huntington, and other areas. It allows users to manage their parking space upon arrival by smartphone and extend their time when necessary without having to interrupt their shopping or dining experience. Thanks to the success of the parking management program, we've been able to reinvest into improvements for the Bayshore community, such as finally repaving the Bayshore train station parking lot, adding irrigation there, increasing security cameras, and we have some planned beautification projects. A tremendous amount of time and effort went into getting this off the ground. It's never easy when you're trying to do something new, and continues as we constantly work towards improvements. And I want to thank Councilman John Cochran for his steadfast dedication through some challenges on this project. With the ever-increasing demand to build and expand in Islip, the Division of Planning and Development under the care of Ron Meyer has had a very busy year, carefully maintaining the balance between community, economic growth, and development. The building department remains open one night a week to assist residents and businesses in their needs. This year, we completed the long-awaited land use study for the Industrial Corridor District to facilitate appropriate development along Vets Highway. The department's web pages were updated, making for easier access to applications and technical bulletins. We coordinated with New York Rising Community Redevelopment on short-term and long-term projects, emergency generators, the community-wide drainage studies, backflow prevention check valve for storm drainage systems in Oakdale, and the Oakdale-West Sayville Road raising project. Planning and Development supervised the design and construction of various streetscape projects, installing curbs and sidewalks throughout the town, providing improved pedestrian safety and further beautifying our communities. Working closely with DPW and Parks, they designed and coordinated the construction of the Brentwood Recreation Center parking lot, where parents, children, and grandparents gathered to enjoy recreation, conversation, and a sense of community, their sense of place. The Division of Planning and Development had a tremendous year, and I thank Commissioner Meyer and his team for all of their hard work, for making themselves conveniently available to our residents on Wednesday evenings, and also, too, for promoting and really encouraging these pre-application meetings for developers. It really helps a lot to know in the beginning what is going to work and not work, so that resources are not expended needlessly. Another one of our departments which has had an exceptionally productive and exciting year is our Department of Environmental Control, DEC, under the expert guidance of Commissioner Jim Heil. In 2017, as it has in previous years, the town's DEC conducted a spring stop day event, which allowed the public to safely dispose of their household hazardous waste. This year, the stop day is scheduled for May 19th. Additionally, we hosted our shredding day event in the spring and fall to provide residents with a safe, secure method of disposing of personal documents. And we look forward to hosting this event again this year on June 9th and again October 13th. They completed a large-scale energy efficiency LED lighting upgrades at all town solid waste facilities, improving safety and visibility while reducing electricity consumption. This also includes rebates from PSEG Long Island for the replacement and installation of the new LED fixtures. We completed the procurement and implementation of a new state-of-the-art screening plant for processing town compost. One of our most exciting DEC accomplishments this year was finally moving forward with the planning process for the construction of a new animal shelter and Adopt a Pet Center, which is projected to break ground this fall. Our current animal shelter was built over 50 years ago. The dedicated staff there has really done an incredible job finding so many pets their forever homes, even in the antiquated conditions that they work in. I am so happy that we will finally be able to give our staff, our residents, and our animals the proper space that they need and deserve. We want to thank New York State Senators Phil Boyle and Tom Croce for the New York State grants they've secured for this shelter, and a very special thank you to our wonderful giving volunteers. We couldn't do it without them. Another major achievement is the very successful, ongoing, and growing Trap, Neuter, and Return program, the TNR program at the Islip Animal Shelter and Adopt a Pet Center, in conjunction with the Animal Lovers League. I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Bergen for her advocacy on this issue and all those advocates who work closely with the Commissioner. To date, we have trapped, neutered, and released more than 700 cats. Among its goals this year, the DEC will continue to aggressively market the compost material, enhance public education component of the town's recycling program. You know, the town of Islip was really a leader in recycling over 30 years ago. We're going to expand the TNR program for feral cats, plan, develop, and implement a program to improve the town's adoption rate at the animal shelter and Adopt a Pet Center. As I've already mentioned, one of our most valuable assets in the town is our dedicated employees. Personnel oversaw the seamless implementation of a new payroll system, replacing a system that was over 40 years old, and that is a huge accomplishment. And a lot of angst over that, because people are not happy if they don't get paid. So when they turned off the old system and turned on the new one, fingers were crossed, and we were very grateful for the hard work that went into that. Personnel initiated and actively participated in labor contract negotiations with the United Public Service Employees Union, UPSEW, EU, covering the blue-collar and white-collar contracts, which expired December 31st of 17. I'm delighted to say that we have reached an agreement on both blue and white-collar contracts. It was enthusiastically approved by the membership by a margin of over 96%, and the resolution to adopt the contracts was unanimously passed by this town board at our March 20th meeting. I'd like to thank our Personnel Director, Arthur Abadi, our dedicated negotiating team, our partners at UPSI, especially its President, Kevin Boyle, for all their efforts through this process. We treasure the wonderful relationship that we have with our unions and all of their members. Many of those dedicated members work in our Department of Public Works. DPW is led by our incredible Parks and DPW Commissioner Tom Owens. And I'd like to emphasize what I just said. Commissioner Owens runs two of our largest departments, and both are running better than ever. Streamlining the leadership of these two departments together has cut waste, optimized our resources, saved taxpayer dollars, and shortened response time on constituent issues. In the past, for example, reporting overgrown grass was a challenge because the location determined whether DPW answered the call or Parks answered the call. It's not unusual to see DPW guys working in the parks on a project or park guys helping out on the roads or shoveling. Now everyone is working together to provide the quickest, most efficient response. Thank you to Tom and his staff for navigating through the blending of these departments so expertly. And I would just like to take a moment to recognize two long-tenured, dedicated employees of the department that passed this year, Vinnie Seppi and Michelle Newman. The wake was just yesterday for Michelle. I know it's a great loss in the department, but our hearts and prayers go out to all of them. The Department of Public Works is responsible for the maintenance of over 1,200 miles of roadway in the town. As the third largest town in New York State, this is no small task. In 2017, DPW paved almost 60 miles of roadway. That's the equivalent of going from Town Hall to Manhattan. In addition to regular maintenance work and improvements on our roadways, DPW and Parks is at the forefront of all of our major weather events. When most people are advised to stay off the roads, our dedicated workers are out there brining, sanding, and plowing. I thank these men and women who consistently put our safety first while sometimes risking their own. Given the recent influx of nor'easters we've had, 4 to be exact, DPW has been exceptionally busy with many of their other functions, cleaning storm drains, assisting with flooding, trimming town trees, and clearing down trees and debris from the roads. They're also responsible for the maintenance of town-owned sumps, the maintenance of over 60 town-owned buildings and facilities, sidewalk repair and replacement, and the purchase and maintenance of all town-owned vehicles. We're a township consisting of many miles of waterfront, and residents enjoy boating, whether on the Great South Bay or other town waterways. We continue to promote and encourage boater safety and awareness by offering Islip residents boater certification courses. Through the dedicated efforts of Parks personnel, beaches, marinas, parks, bays, pools, and playgrounds and golf courses are just a few of the many beautiful outdoor assets our residents enjoy. It is through these hardworking men and women, supervised by town personnel, that we are able to enjoy these amenities, particularly in the summer season. Last year, we hired 569 seasonal employees in support of our summer programs. Many of our staff work behind the scenes in the town and often don't recognize the public accolades they truly deserve. Our Division of Recreation and Parks and Cultural Affairs is responsible for countless events, many of which take place in the spring, summer, and fall. This past year, the town planned and held the incredibly successful first annual Great South Bay Sea Fest in conjunction with the Northwell Health South Bay Run. Plans are already underway for the second annual Sea Fest, which will be held September 22nd. We also started the well-received Summer Mondays series with food trucks and movies in our parks. A major accomplishment for parks in the town as a whole this year was the much-anticipated reopening of Roberto Clemente Park. In 2015, the cleanup had not yet begun, and we were mired in a sense of hopelessness over this disaster. When taking office, I promised this would be a top priority. We rolled up our sleeves, we all worked together, town and community, and now I could not be prouder to say that this park has reopened. It reopened last summer for the Brentwood community and for all our residents to enjoy. And next on our priority list is the reopening of the Roberto Clemente Park swimming pool, which we anticipate and hope will be ready this summer. Further out, we look forward to building and opening a spray park at Clemente, thanks to our partnership with Assemblyman Ramos and the state grant he was able to secure. Another project we are excited about for our young residents is our plan to build a skate park at Roberto Clemente, something the community has wanted and passionately advocated for a long time. We had a lot of young people here at the town board meeting 2 meetings ago, and we since had a meeting with them, and hopefully this will move along in, I'm not going to say speedy fashion, because in government nothing is ever speedy, but we'll get there. A shining example of community working for the common good is a group of generous, civic-minded residents of our town who have formed the Town of Islip Parks Foundation. The foundation will work toward beautifying and preserving our wonderful parks here in the town, and I thank each and every one of the members who have volunteered their time and their resources for this important effort. Last year was particularly busy. We permitted over 225 ball field slots, reached 90% capacity for the year at the gym at 401, continued the systematic replacement of playgrounds throughout the town, held the Carnival Series for the 3rd consecutive year, which generated additional revenue to fund our summer concert series, expanded opportunities for private-public partnerships ranging from single classes and camps to the operation of town athletic facilities. We also started a golf course enhancement program at the Brentwood Country Club, finally replacing the outdated irrigation system, and we thank all our pros at our 3 town courses for all of their hard work. We also secured the necessary permits and bid documents for the much-needed marina and bulkhead maintenance project in Bayport, along with moving forward with the last section of the Bayshore Marina project. We've also upgraded our land-based pump-out stations to complement the town's pump-out boat program. We've made over 500 household visits throughout the town grant-funded ISIP program, providing basic household services to the senior community. And you know, it's not just household services. These contacts with somebody are a social need that a lot of these seniors who are homebound don't get. We've served over 65,000 meals through the town's grant-funded senior center and homebound meal program. And in 2018, the department plans to expand our senior programming at senior centers to further serve these cherished members of our community. On the opposite generational side of our community, we serve our youth. Our future lies in the hands of today's youth, and I think with the past events of the past couple of weeks, I think we can be fairly confident that we have a generation of leaders coming forward, and I'm delighted that in our town, they're under the capable hands of our Youth Bureau under the direction of Timothy Moore. Coordinating with Youth Enrichment Services, 10,183 youth were served in 2017. The Youth Bureau offers a wide variety of programs, including those that serve mental health issues, assist the developmentally disabled, address social issues including social media, bullying, drug use, to name a few. Recently, the town of Islip has answered the call to think differently, an initiative that started in Dutchess County, New York, to change the way individuals, businesses, and governments interact with residents with special needs. I'd like to thank our newest council member, Jim O'Connor, for taking the reins on this initiative, as well as being the liaison to our Disability Advisory Board. Councilman O'Connor has long been a passionate advocate for our residents in the special needs community. Thank you very much, Councilman O'Connor. This year, the Youth Bureau received a modern dance grant for people with developmental disabilities, partnering with the David Sanders Dance Studio. They've received an Office of Mental Health Counseling license to grow the existing counseling program, completed the implementation of Positive Alternatives program, executed an efficiency management reorganization plan for agencies to help compensate for budget cuts from prior years. And they have seen cuts. All of our youth agencies have seen cuts over the years from the state and the county, and the town for that matter. So they're struggling. to do more with less, and helping with these kinds of reorganizations, I think, has been helpful. But the biggest help, of course, is funding. Summer programming has been increased where needed, and they've also created and launched a youth resource guide that can be found on the town's website. No office is used more by our community than our town clerk's office, which is led by our town clerk, Olga Murray. The town clerk is responsible for recording all vital records, town government activities, as well as storing the documents that are important to residents' lives, including birth, death, and marriage certificates. The town clerk's office issues 26 different types of licenses, including marriage, and presides over those ceremonies. This year on Valentine's Day, the town clerk officiated a record number of 19 marriage ceremonies. She had a little giveaway for them. It was really kind of an exciting day in the town. The town clerk's office also processes special events requests and operates a very active passport acceptance facility, which now stays open one night a week to better assist our residents. Historic work continues in the clerk's office, identifying and cataloging items with the goal of improved preservation and storage. Working with the town historian, George Munkenbeck, makes this a very promising project with a bright future. Let's remember that Islip is also a cultural gem. Partnering with the Islip Arts Council under its director, Linda Moran, we offer many wonderful opportunities to appreciate and enjoy the arts. We have the Bolton Center in downtown Bayshore, Noel Ruiz Theater at Creative Ministries Performing Center in Oakdale, the Bayway Arts Center in East Islip, West Islip Symphony Orchestra, along with the ever-popular Brown Bag Lunch Series at the Bandshell in downtown Bayshore, and I know there are many more throughout the community. I would like to, again, thank my colleagues here in Islip, beginning with the Islip Town Board. Each of you has illustrated and has had a significant impact on our community in the past year, and I look forward to continuing to work with all of you to make our town an even stronger community. I commend our commissioners and department heads for their untiring efforts and sharing our passion and dedication to preserving and furthering the quality of life for Islip Town residents. I would also like to thank and recognize our residents, businesses, community, and civic leaders for sharing our vision for the future of our town. As I mentioned earlier, as I'm sure is evidenced by most of the wonderful news of the past year, it really takes a community to run a town. I invite all in the Islip community to become active participants in planning and shaping the future of our town. Working together, we will build a better, more efficient, and effective government for all the people living and working in our town of Islip. Our residents deserve no less. I thank you very much for being here, and now we are going to adjourn to executive session. Thank you so much.